Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. Look on the screen. We've got Nolan Wells. This picture here, he's obviously at a pool party with some people and some disguised as his friend. Listen, the math is not mathing. It's not adding up. It is not adding up. And typically with stories like this here, we find out more as more evidence starts to come up. Someone's going to have a conscience and start to speak out. Okay, so Nolan Wells, 4th of July, he goes out with some people labeled as his friends to Horn Island, and they're on a boat. They're going out there. So they go out there. Everybody comes back except Nolan. Too many things have gone wrong. First, there's already evidence and recording. There's evidence, gotta say allegedly, of a disagreement of a fight. Already evidence of a fight, which we knew it had to be. No one goes with some friends and don't come back. So I'm going to play some excerpts from an interview that the family did, the parents of Nolan Wells did, with Michael Strahan. Is not adding up at all. My issue is this right here. How in the hell, please explain to me, who goes with some friends on a trip, and then all of a sudden, the person doesn't come back, but their phone makes it back, their keys make it back. Say what? But he doesn't make it back. When I heard that, I knew then. So whoever had that phone, and keep in mind, the ones that had the phone, when they came back here, they didn't go to the parents and say, oh, hey, you know what? Nolan decided to stay back, but you know what? I got his keys in his phone. That is nonsensical. Nobody does that. No, my thing is, okay, so whoa. If you got the keys in the phone, why did his mother have to track it to find the location? The one who had the keys in the phone, that's who knew what went wrong. Why did his mother have to track it? So let's listen to a brief part of the interview here that was on with Michael Strahan. The parents are speaking out, okay?
Day by day, second by second, and day by day, which we all can understand. And I just want to ask you, the friends that Nolan traveled to Horn Island with, they say that he stayed behind voluntarily. Why would he stay behind?
That we cannot answer.
It makes no sense.
I can't fathom why he would.
I don't know why he would. We always taught him to, if you go with a group, you stay with a group. Even when he was in college, he would say, Dad, well, we're going to ride down to a party or something in another city. Now, so I was telling him, look, if you go with 5, you come back with 5. Do not separate from your group. Because I always say safety is in numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And
true.
He always said, yes, sir. So he knew to stay with his group. So why would he split from his group? I don't know.
So that would have been unusual.
And why would he stay? Why would he stay on Horn Island? He said, allegedly, one person says, he said he's going to go ahead and stay. Well, if he stayed on Horn Island, why would somebody else have his keys in his phone? That doesn't even make any sense. Matter of fact, he was in sports. He had plans. Why would he stay? Lies.
For him to split from the group. And you said he would always check in with you. Did he check in with you that day?
So that day, no, I don't. But of course, too, they were on the boat. And usually when he is out there, which it's not uncommon, he's, I think, since last year, he's been going there occasionally with his friends. And so it would always just be like, hey, Mom, I'm back, type of thing. But this time there was no call or text from him. It was from his friend.
And then, too, really didn't worry a lot about it because, it was his last weekend to have fun. Because that Monday, he had to report to school. We was preparing to take him back for camp to prepare for the season.
So he's got plans to come back that Monday to go to school, prepare for the season. So why would he say he's going to go ahead and stay? Lies. It doesn't make sense. Stay on Horn Island for what? Somebody's lying.
We're going to see. He wanted to have his last hurrah before he locked down and get ready for the season. Because, like I said, the entire summer he's training. He got more serious. He started to understand what I was trying to tell him about football not just being fun, but as you get farther in it, it becomes a business. If you want to excel, and you have to understand, and have to understand both at the same time.
And we know, Ben, that you said that you're going to do an independent investigation.
Yes.
And you said you have Nolan's cell phone and messages were deleted. How could you tell messages were deleted?
Well, his parents got the phone back, and that's something that's important, Michael, because they tracked this phone on Life 360.
So Life 360, but when I received a phone call from Warren, I immediately called my friend Tashima and I said, hey, have you guys seen Nolan? Because her two sons, Jalen and Jay Vonley, they grew up together. They played City League sports together. When they got into school, they played sports together. And so she was like, hey, okay, the boys were pulling up the location from Snapchat. So the Snapchat location looks completely different than the Life 360 location. So when I pulled up Life 360, it was different. It was showing everywhere the phone had been. I was like, well, it's showing that he's back on land. I'm not. He's like, but no, he didn't come back with us.
So the phone made it back, but he didn't. The phone made it back to land, but Nolan Wells didn't. That you have to know right then and there. Again, whoever had the phone, why did they have to track the phone? The person wasn't honest and said, oh, you know what? He's had to stay back, but let me give his parents his phone. Of course not. And let me think, whoever had that phone, you're trying to hold on to it because there's evidence. That's why the text messages have been deleted. An altercation obviously clearly took place. And they're saying that now that someone's come forward. An altercation took place. They already said someone took his phone. This right here, I don't know who didn't get the memo. I remember in my 20s, someone, this girl I worked with, she was okay. I wasn't, we weren't like BFFs, hell to the no. Becky, and she was like, oh yeah, hey, we're going to take the boat out this weekend. You want to come with us? I already knew the answer was going to be no. No. I work with you. We had a relationship. You have my phone number. I could have talked with you after work, but on the boat with you, I already knew more than likely I would be the only Black person on that boat. Girl, that's going to be a no-go. Jerry going to take the boat out. You want to come? No. Y'all go to lunch together a lot? Yes. I wasn't coming on no boat because I'm not trying to hear a Black person going overboard. And that's the thing about it. He clearly had a future planned, and it could have been jealousy. And if he's sports oriented, you know what would have happened? Made a whole lot more money, while they may have to go to school and get their degrees, and guess what? Can't even make half of what he's making. People think if somebody smiles at you that they likes me. They don't. Sometimes we use the word friends a little too loosely. These are not friends. The phone made it back what he did. Let me ask you a question. Why did the phone make it back? And who kept the phone? Why would they do that? Because they knew something went wrong. Didn't call the parents and say, hey, Nolan said he's going to stay back, but I got his phone and keys. Here you go. No, because that's that doesn't make any sense. The phone made it back on land, but he did, and his body washed up on a Monday. That he had plans to go back to camp for school. This is what happens when people get comfortable and they think, oh, they like me. My dad told me one thing growing up. He says, because somebody smiling at you doesn't mean that they like you. Jeffrey Dahmer, I'm sure, was smiling at people. A serial killer has. Oh, I think he's cute. What's the guy that killed all those girls? Oh, I forget his name. Ted Bundy. Oh, I'm sure he smiled at the ladies. He smiled at the ladies. I met this woman, and she had told me that she said, yeah. She said she had met Ted Bundy, and she said when she met him, she said she thought it was cute, is what she says. And she said she just had a real eerie feeling about him. She said he invited her to get a bite to eat. And she said she sat down at the table at some diner and had a real eerie feeling about him. It was an older lady, of course. And she said, that's when she said, oh, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And then she said she just left. And she said then when the fact that later on it was on, that the girls were missing and he was the one, she's like, it just freaked her out. But the fact that she went to the diner to get a bite to eat with him, so she says, he wasn't mean to her. She thought he was charming and cute. And she said to me, she said at that point, she said, I realized I could have been one of his victims. A lot older lady, yeah. She could have been one of the victims of Ted Bundy. She's like, yeah, nice, charming guy. She's about, I had a real eerie feeling. So some people, they think, because especially young people, you can't tell them anything sometimes. I'm not saying that about Nolan Wells, but yeah, it's just in general. Oh, these are my friends. These are my friends. There's always going to be a hater in the group. And look, talk about on one accord, talk about on code. Why couldn't he come back and ride on the same boat that he rode with the friends? That told me right then and there that fight must have happened, as someone said. And they don't want you on that boat. So he's going on another boat. Then someone says, oh, he stayed behind. The math is not even mathing. They saw him. There's a release photo of him talking with some girl. Could it be over a girl, one of the girls that they liked? One of the guys snatched his phone. Who the hell you to snatch somebody's phone? That's how you know something went wrong. What kind of friends do you have? You can have a disagreement. It happens all the time. But it's how you handle it. But even disagreements, the fact that to leave for something bad to happen, now it's like, oh, you know what? There was actually a fight. You think? Uh-oh, a fight. Uh-oh, blood. Where did blood come from? Let me guess, Nolan. Uh-oh, cleaning the boat. What you cleaning the boat for? So I'm thinking, did the fight happen on the boat? Or did the fight happen on the island? What's up? What if the family hadn't really got on television and made this known? All those kids are complicit. You're not going to tell me with young people like that, a fight breaks out, that, oh, nobody hardly saw the fight. Oh, come on. No. A fight breaking out like that? No. They clearly got on that boat and went home. Don't want to cause a problem. Don't want to call somebody out. With friends like this, you don't need enemies. And that is why, for the young people in my community, I don't care what your socioeconomic level is, you're going to learn today. You don't want to just be the only one. Well, there was somebody else, only two. Because it's already they've had another case in Texas. Supposed to meet with Billy, which is not his name. I'll do a follow-up on that. Billy, or whatever his name is. The young black boy didn't make it back. But his counterpart did. The Caucasian boy did. Has there been an arrest? So we got to stop using this term friends too loosely. We got to stop thinking, oh, I know these people. They're part of my crew. At the end of the day, they're on code that you would never imagine. My thing is, why did it take this long? See, the pressure's mounting up. Why did it take this long to find this information? Why? Somebody please tell me. Why did it take this long? So this right here, the fact that the phone made it back, but he didn't, that lets you know, hashtag cover up. The phone made it back, but he did not. Hashtag cover up. So we'll see if any arrests come forward, because we know how this so-called judicial system works. Justice, yeah, right. Yeah. I don't buy it. So this right here, the math is not mathing. It's too many things. It makes sense. Oh, he decided to go ahead and stay back. Why would he stay back on that island? For what purpose? When he's heading into football camp. It's nonsensical. Oh, he made it back, but the phone didn't. Well, who got the phone? Why didn't the person give his parents the phone? Why did the person hold the phone? Why are text messages missing? Total cover up. This right here, It's clear to me just murder. This right here, the fight may have gone too far. You have blood. We got a body washed up. We got blood, and we know who the blood belongs to. This lets me know the boy was murdered, and they were trying to cover it up. And then slowly, the information is going to go ahead and come out. Anyway, let me know what you all think about this. This is, trust me, it's going to be more coming about this. I guarantee you, this is how it happens. Little droppers come out, but this right here, I'm calling #murder. And these are not friends. If these are your friends, guess what? I hate to see an enemy. Thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe, like, and share. And I'm out.